And we welcome you back for our open final here in Delft. We're still at Rising High, we're still playing. And that's the first layout of the day. Force Electro 1 against DTU started playing 1 minute, actually a minute too early according to our schedule. Sorry we couldn't be here sooner. But we're looking forward to an amazing game, really competitive.
Is that Marcus? I think it is.
There's a lot of players that shouldn't really be playing right now, I think. But they really want the win. They're going for it.
Or players that have been missing for a few weeks that have made a sudden reappearance for this competition. Yeah, so if you didn't catch the first broadcast, my name is Jack. I'm broadcasting here next to...
Hi, I'm Nick.
Yeah.
And of course, it's your boy Cedric coming at you live, of course. And we see here a whole setup, almost a hand block. DTU is running away with it. Really fast pace. Camilo gets a double tap on the disc.
Yeah. All these discs are well contested. If you were just watching the women's match with us, you can see an intensity increase right now in terms of how close all these passes are, how contested all of the discs are. So.
We still got the same windy conditions. Let's see how these two teams can deal with that.
Maybe it hurts these teams even more as they rely more on their athleticism, their longer throws to get those discs and get those points. And those are going to be hurt even more by this gusty wind. So let's see if they adjust their game plan, if they play more short to deal with this, or that they stick to their long game and see if it sticks.
Yeah. Similar to the last game, we already see teams throwing zones. Wow.
Oof. High disc, kept in by Camilo. Very nice.
Force Electro not afraid to drop off a couple of meters to get those swings around. And it goes back on where it started. Marcus, number 12, gets that disc. That's Martin.
Yeah, Force Electro, nice and patient, working it up quite nicely.
Yeah.
A lot fewer drops so far in this game. Looking a lot cleaner.
Both of these teams have had a lot of party last night. A couple of Force Electro has to clean up the party at 2. Shout out to my boy Dave, Friso, and Job. And actually Martin, they all stayed. They all had to clean up. So these guys are going to be tired. Let's see if they can bring the heat today.
We see a turn in the middle of the field. I've also been informed Friso is up at 6 a.m. working on this tournament, so he only had like 0 sleep.
Allegedly 2 hours.
Allegedly.
I don't think those were the best hours.
Yeah. It's one of the blessings and curses of running the tournament is all the responsibilities it takes, and it takes the whole club to run the thing. So lots of tasks at different hours of the day, but we're all happy to be here and happy to be playing. So as we watch Force play, it seems like they're in a similar position to what we just saw. I looked away for a second, and all of a sudden they're back near their own end zone line with a disc.
Yeah, DTU happy to let them swing the disc. Oh, bit of contact.
Yep. Same with Fowler. Contact has been resolved, and swinging the disc again and again.
Bert's on there, Martin as well, getting those passes on. They're not really gaining any meters so far.
Yeah, DTU just happy to let them swing it around the back, and Force Electro not making many meters, doing exactly what DTU wanted.
At the corner of your screen, you see the women's finals photos being taken. All still basking in their final that just passed a few minutes ago. As we're here, seeing Marcus throw the disc up. Oh, and then they get a good break. Wouter gets that disc. Does he get that disc? Of course he gets that. Sticky hands.
It was a good read by Wouter.
A lot of disc contact in a short amount of time. Let's see if Bert can punch it in.
If this were a football match with like possession stats, it would skew heavily towards Force right now. I mean, it's still 0-0, so it doesn't necessarily matter, but it's clear they're taking a lot of care to hold on to the disc.
Yeah, with this win, disc possession is key. Not throwing it any heroics, just keeping it real, keeping it honest, and working it every step of the way.
Yeah. Boy.
And that's the first score on the board. Amazing flow up until that 2 meter mark, and then it's just a deep.
Yeah, absolutely. Force were nice and patient, worked it up really well, and yeah, they got the goal there.
Yeah. A good read in the end zone as well. That the disc kind of fluttered in a weird way out of the hand and then stabilized with the wind. I didn't see who caught it. I think it was Wouter, but it was very well read and he adjusted his position well. So that was nice to see.
Yeah. DTU doing pretty well with that zone. They managed to keep him back for quite a while. Made him throw loads of passes, but Force were consistent enough, kept the disc.
You have the roster. This DTU team is not unfamiliar to us. Not only has Force played them more than once, but one player on their line is actually playing at Force Electra this year as an exchange student. So some insider knowledge being tossed around this year about this team. But play resumes. DTU is now on offense. Looks like Force is...
Henry gets that disc really far to number Jaden, pickup member for DTU.
Yeah, DTU's turn to work it upfield against the zone.
Ooh. Yup gets that grab though. Steps out wide. Doesn't get it. There's no options. All the way to the break side. You see Leonard out of hibernation. Sometimes he shows up. Not every time.
Nice up line.
And it is bombed.
Big shot downfield. Can Dave get it?
Ooh. And it's a catch from Dave, our boy.
That disc just died in air, sat right down.
Luckily, Dave's one of the tall boys. He can get those discs. He can get those guys.
Chance here for a break now for Force Electro.
And also, Open 1, still a victim of that gusty wind. You see them struggling to get the reset up, and when it does, it's a bit hastily put up with the disc facing the wind even.
Yeah,
and it just carries away.
Break into the wind, always a tough throw. High stall count there too.
Yeah. It's interesting on that last point toward the end zone. I felt like Force had a lot of options on undercuts, on things, and then still took kind of a risky upwind around. So I'm curious if there was a strategy there or just weren't seeing these choices. But well, it's a turn. They get to try it again.
Yeah, lots of pressure coming from the Force Electro defense.
It's a very high intensity game. I see Force players are already starting to outrun DTU players who I think are slightly lower in numbers. We'll see if that continues.
There's our tournament director on the disc. He has a lot of his plate, but he isn't afraid to step it up a notch and get that disc over to Ruben, who's looking for that reset. Upline isn't on, but the fill-in is. High-paced game.
Nice and patient here from Force Electro. Not afraid to swing it around the back. Oh, as I say that, they try to jam it down the middle.
Getting some thumbs up over here in the commentary box. So we're at least doing half decent of a job. We hope you enjoy. My voice is getting raspier by the minute.
Yeah.
I hope I'll survive my my classes tomorrow, but we'll see. It's a worry for later.
You can pass off the mic. We got it. But yeah, again, DTU on the disc. It seems like a common theme, regardless of the team. Be a bit stuck down toward this downwindy end zone. They've broken out of it now, but yeah, not easy for these teams today. That was a nice, quick pass.
I just now noticed that we actually have 2 number 8s on the field. And I don't know which is which. One is Henry. Anyone? The other one is Joji. Oh, actually, Joji's bald. We could recognize him. That's fair.
Oh, a tipped score. Teammate to teammate. As long as it's not intentional, it still counts.
That sounds a little bit salty right there, Jack. Do you have any experience with that?
You can intentionally tip your teammate as well. If you can't intentionally tip it to yourself,
That's true. That's true.
that's illegal. No, it was that was them being in the right position at the right time. So good job to DTU for that. I'm curious to see what this next point brings. That was a bit of a long one.
Yeah, it was a hold in the end by DTU. Had a couple turnovers, not as clean as the previous point, but they got the goal in the end. Worked it up nicely.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the pool now, DTU. They have a fewer players, I think, but also the Force Electro Open 1 roster is kind of slimmed down over the weekend with some people dropping out. Let's hope no more injuries happen today as we're ready for the pool. Force Electro set up. Here it comes. And that's a beauty. Right on the money. Let's not drop it, Bert. I would never forgive him.
Well, we had a lot of commentators cursing in that first game. So far we haven't, but I'm going to avoid saying let's not drop it to people, just in case. But yeah, good flow from Force right now.
Against some sort of Zoni. It's not really man defense. Gustav getting the disc, 47.
Our
FE2
Force transplant.
Our trader. And we got a special guest actually, somebody with a lot more commentating experience than us combined. So he's also gonna drop in a few times. Looks to smack about his teammates because he knows these guys really well. Let's introduce Patrick.
Hey guys, I've come out of retirement for about half an hour now to join the commentary. Until about 2 months ago, I was part of this team. Then I decided to take a step back, but it's pretty cool to see these guys in the finals. In my memory, this is the first time that FE1 has ever been in the Rising High finals, and by ever, I mean the 6 years that I've been part of Force Electro, and nothing before that.
That's ever. That's enough ever in my book.
So what's the score? 1-1.
1-1.
Excellent. Oh, there's a quick turn there, though. DTU decided to walk it up.
And DTU with a chance to break here.
Yeah, so I've been following this game, this tournament actually through the group chat of FE1, which has been quite funny. I hear this morning was pretty rough, so that means that last night was pretty good, huh?
Yes.
Oh, nice little smackdown by Wouter. Old man, alumni coming back to play for FE1 this weekend for the numbers.
Loose pass there, Bert was able to recover it.
It's what some might call Callahan country.
It's a great save.
Force Electro deep into their end zone now. Working around nicely. Prakash now on the disc. Sent this it to Marcus.
Losing a hat on the play, that means business is on as Barrett gets it on the sideline.
Big gust of wind hits the commentary booth, which means it hit the field a second ago. I think we just saw it with the hat and with some of these discs. The Force is moving well now. They got out of the end zone, which is pretty cool.
It's almost poetic as last year these two teams played their last match against each other. It wasn't the final though, it was a lower place, but it's still nice to see each other on the field again. And it must feel good to punch these numbers in.
So we also got Camilo there in the tank top. Huge shot goes up by Barrett. Untraced out by Wouter, who does not toe it in. Passes quick shot to Arnie for the score. It's honestly pretty nice to see this team clicking. They look like they're not too high on numbers, but that means that some guys that you wouldn't expect in the handle space are going into the handle space. I remember Farkash, just a rookie a few years ago. Now he's turned into one of the most solid players on the team. So he's there in the red sleeves. Yeah, you can just see him there. Absolute beast. We call him the train on the team because he'll run through no matter what. Sometimes that means there might be someone in the way and he doesn't care, but usually goes well. But we love him for it. Looks like he's out there putting in the work.
Effort. I know you just showed up a few minutes ago, but the effort has been high all game, right from the start. So it's been a clear departure from both the games I played in and some of the other ones I've witnessed. That's been nice to see.
Nice. So what is the tournament looking like this year? I've obviously just come in for this this final, seen a little bit in passing, but how's it been this year compared to previous years?
Yeah, amazing. Like, no, I'm not gonna lie, this is only my second year at Rising High, so I don't have much to go on. But yeah, of course, I played amazingly, Patrick. Thanks for asking. Our team did great. We lost a couple, we won a couple. But yeah, that's the name of the tournament, right? It's a lot of hustling for. Oh, and that's a turn right there on the end zone line. Got my story short. This is far more important.
Martin Laser with the disc. Pops it down.
Oh, what a shame. We
Yeah.
want it so badly.
You know, I'm no expert in the sports of ultimate frisbee, but some might say that he should have gone to ground there with a little layout. But obviously, I haven't played 2.5 days of games, so I'm one to talk from the sideline.
And this grass is rock solid as it hasn't rained for the past couple of days. So if you do land face first, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, the turf is very tough now. It's hard on ankles, knees, bodies, faces, everything.
And this is looking like messy offense, but maybe Marcus could get some more organization into the structure. He is German after all. They love that stuff.
He is known for, you know, putting the team in their place if there are a few too many mistakes. It's good to have a little bit of variation. The play goes up to Camilo in the back. Big man punches the
Not
air.
guarded at all. Really open, waiting for that disc to arrive.
He was waving for it for a few seconds before it went up. I'm surprised no one moved to cover him. But nice that happened for force.
You know what they always say? They say play smart, not hard. Or actually, play smart and hard. But that was smart. That was also a really great pull just now. So they were going down in the zone, so it looks like they were playing a wall with one person on the mark, two just next to the mark, so trying to stop anything down the middle, and then a mid, two wings, and a deep. And I think you saw there that the pull really held. The pull went all the way into their end zone, allowed them to run down. It had some nice float on it. And realistically, DTU did not get anywhere past the brick mark there. So that just shows the effect that a good pull can have.
Well, let's see though. This is the other side now, and this is of course crosswind. It's slightly against them. Let's see if Marcus can pull this pull off. And the pull does go up, and it still is a good pull, even though it's against the wind. It rolls, and it rolls out just a brick mark.
Yeah. Pretty well done. We've seen a lot worse on this field already, so nice pull.
So coming into the sideline, DTU running a horizontal stack. Gets a nice pass in, but you know that's probably the legs being tied there. Probably on day one could have made a quick step adjust, get that with his right hand, but you know the fatigue really setting in at this point. These games, these finals, especially competitions, is all about who can keep playing well, doing the small things right, keeping the discipline even when you're exhausted.
Yeah, it's a game of attrition. And you see it now, everybody's just jumbled up into space, and not really sticking to their original game plan. Let's see if they can clear it back up a bit. Not afraid to swing it, and they do get a good pop. Through to Job, our tournament director, as we've mentioned before.
Just want to give a big shout out to my housemate Big Dave. He's the big guy in the middle of the field, wearing the black trackies, number 3. You can see he's doing a good job of running around and not getting the disc at the moment. But you know,
Mental support is important, right?
mental support is important, and you know, just running around, keeping defenders busy is often just important as throwing the disc. So big up there. So I remember at the start of the tournament, he posted in our group chat, he was like, first guy to get a layout D, I'll buy a beer. He came home last night, and I was like, who's getting the beer? And he said himself. He was the first one on the team to get the layout D. So great to see him lead by example there.
A bit of self-love never hurts.
Force selector now just outside the end zone. Can they put it in? Oof.
Nope.
Nope.
Well, they could have, but they didn't.
Bit overthrown. Marcus is a bit off balance there.
I really appreciated the flow. It was very clear they were swinging, looking for an upfield option. Swinging, looking for the upfield option. And it got them the whole way up the field. So big ups for that. Not every team here has managed that, especially with the wind this weekend.
Yeah, great to see. Great to see. Okay, we got DTU coming out in a horizontal stack again. Nice physical defense there by number 91, Farkash. Up line is floaty. Marcus is right there on his heels and get a huge put. That's looking nice. Is he going to be able to box catch? Yeah. But who's the support? Quick flip. Oh, and that's beautifully placed.
And that's our trader, Gustav, right there in his DTU jersey. He should have been playing with force, but oh well. He gets the score though. Good, well done.
Ah, it was a beautiful huck. Exactly on the money.
One of the first we've actually seen is all the hucks we've seen so far have been driven over the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the right thing to do. It's going downwind. Put a big huck there. Worst that could happen is you turn it over near the other end zone and the other team has to go upwind. Yeah, great huck there, but...
And I think it's really important to reflect how big of a point that was for DTU. Now that the score is 3-2 to Force Electro. You know, Force Electro were knocking on the end zone there, and that could have made it 4-1. And mentally, having then to put an 0 points up into the win, being 4-1 down, that's demoralizing. But 3-2, it's energizing, it's an important point, and they feel like they can really come back. So this is a nice big pull, floating it up. Is it going to stay in?
Can't really see from here, but it does seem to be right actually in the middle. Looks can be deceiving. They're going for that run. See if they're in the space. Do they find anything downfield? Looks pretty zony with that mid really close to our handlers as well. Was that a call? Camilo with the grab. Most flashy player on the squad.
Want to give a big shout out to Camilo quickly. He, as you can see, he's a pretty well-built man himself. Spends a lot of time in the gym, but he's taken a lot of guys, as well as me, and they're young, put them through a nice athletic program, and is responsible for a lot of the physical attributes. But also
For your gains.
Yeah, for my gains. Not in
man.
my prime anymore, but back in the day.
Back in the day. Was your PR?
Never quite managed to hit 100 bench, but Camilo would tell me off for that as well. We see Ruben Gracias, please, disc. Say that because no one can pronounce his last name well. Oh, Friezo, the man himself. This guy, he cycles 30 to 45 minutes depending on practice location every day from home and back. And imagine that. You've been beaten down. Oh,
And that's how he built his leg, right?
yeah. I mean, imagine a 3-hour training in the wind and rain in Skipluide, which is one of our practice locations, then biking into the wind 45 minutes back. That's what I call commitment.
Turning around, cycling back, also in the wind.
That's
Like, it's crazy,
like
right?
into the wind both ways.
Yeah, it's the Netherlands
That's
weather,
how
man.
it is. I think our parents said, "Oh, I walked uphill to school both ways." No, you bike into the wind both ways. That's
Friso can make it true. That disc doesn't go in. It does 3 on still the bid, even though there were 3 defensive players.
wow.
Not caught though. Triple coverage.
That would have been the sickest catch in history if he pulled that one down. That's crazy.
Ruben coming back to support the handlers here. There's a zone, and they seem to only have 2 handlers back. It's good to have 3. You can really swing the disc a little bit more there. A nice quick movement here. Up to Yorp, up to Leonard. Pulses the disc, wants to get it off that sideline quickly. Swings over to Bert. Good, yeah. Nice.
He's just waiting for confirmation from you, big boss.
Yeah. I'm in their ear with an earpiece.
Leonard wide open. Can I get that disc? Is that too far? No, it doesn't.
If I was the coach at the moment, I'd be telling them to just take the meters, because you can see that DTU is being quite slow in the zone. I think it's a bit of tiredness. So any swing, they can get a 3-4 meters at a time, so they just out all the way up the field. And they should get there with a bit of patience.
Yeah, you see there, DTU trying to bait it into being trapped on the sideline, and that's something to avoid as Camilo tries to get it back to Bert and does so successfully. And that far sideline, even though it's like for us to see anything happening, it's better to be on that sideline, because this sideline, as we saw in the women's finals, if you get trapped on that, life gets difficult.
Yeah, DTU playing a very loose zone, not really putting much pressure on the throwers there. Force is just happy to work it up and get the
there's
point at the end.
Cyclist boy coming out, back at it again.
Back at it again.
And maybe a little apology to DTU at the moment. Obviously, our commentary is very biased right now.
We already talked about the bias.
Okay, excellent. Well, now my name is cleared as well, and we can continue as we were, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think something two of the commentators here are playing on the second team for us this weekend, and it's just very clear watching this game how consistent the rounds are in all conditions, upwind, downwind. They're really low release, snappy, everything. So it's nice to watch and understand what we could be or how it could be at a top level team.
A long time ago in a land far away, I could play like this all day.
Yeah,
This past weekend, it was not it, man. It was not it. But oh well, we watch and learn. This is for us viewers as well, just a learning.
Where and when was that land?
We don't talk about it. No, we don't talk about that. It's before you joined First Lecture, man. Sorry.
Okay.
But I think that throwing is a testament to the practice and the training of Martin Laser. That's also not how you pronounce his last name, but we're not too good. But you know, he was really adamant about spending at least 10-15 minutes every training in the wind and the cold during the winter practicing our throws. Oh, big shot goes up.
Oh, Gustav just about doesn't get it. Tumbles and rolls, but they're good about it. Little high five in there, little shoulder chap.
That's a good effort right there. He was really running for it. Coffin corner time.
Coffin corner time, yeah. Just as Nick said, Nick, do you see anything different when Force 1 is trapped on the sideline as opposed to the women's game?
I feel like they're just doing a better job of keeping hold of the disc, swinging it, moving the cup around, and taking short, safe options. Yeah, as you can see there, they just went from one sideline to the other and then back, really making that cup move around a lot. Seems to be working well.
Finding the holes in that zone. Pretty loose still. Marcus coming to pick it up, number 12.
Yeah, but this DTU zone does look very different to the zone we saw in the previous game.
Little butter hands there. Yeah.
Has the sweaty palms for taking photos all day.
Yeah.
Big day.
Hey, you know, I was just thinking in my head.
And it's up.
Oh, huge put.
Oh, what a catch. That is amazing offense. Sick plays.
Is that a break?
No. All right.
You can tell we're really good commentators because not a single person knows if that's a break or not.
I mean, commentating is just telling what you like on the field, and I'm enjoying myself, and I hope you are, the watchers at home too.
You know, it's one of my favorite pastimes. Back when we did this commentating for the first time, just the year before Corona or so, Class and I, who were doing it at the time, we got so excited by just waffling and saying nothing of substance into a microphone that we started setting up a whole business plan to travel around Europe and make some money from commentating tournaments. I reckon we would be multimillionaires at this point if it wasn't for Corona putting a spanner into that works. But
Have you gotten a call from AltTV yet?
unfortunately not. So if you want to get in touch, at PTruck is my Instagram. You can always reach out there. And yeah, let me know.
My man's looking for opportunities. Yeah. As he need, he needs them.
Hit him up. It's tough times out here for those looking for jobs.
So we're hearing from TQ here, who actually is paying attention to the game, but the last point was a hold. We appreciate the support, keeping us on our game here.
Yeah, there's only 4 of us here. It's really hard to keep track of the game.
That's about juggling responsibilities. As we see these 3 backhanders really juggling the disc as well, throwing it back and forth, really finding those options, and it goes right through the middle. Not in though. Yop looking for that option. It's a bit clogged up.
Hugely open to Camilo.
Nicely poached, but not enough. Camilo gets it.
He has a way for finding the gaps in the field and just sitting there and getting it past him. You know, maybe that's his age showing there, his experience. Just knows where to sit and wait. But don't get me wrong. If he needs to come through athletically, you'll wish you never matched up against him.
I don't know what they're shouting, but I hope it's helping them extend this lead they have right now. 2 up from DTU.
They were shouting halftime. So
Does that mean it's halftime?
you know, I'm not the
I don't know.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but some might say that.
The 4 commentators together might figure out whether it's halftime or not.
But we see them walking to the other side of the field, so it does imply that they have indeed switched side. Luckily, the players on the field helping us out as well. As we hear the Force Electro cheers going off, sorry I can't join them, because otherwise you guys at home will be very, very annoyed.
Lose all faith in our impartiality.
Apart from ripped eardrums as well.
Yeah. As in the last game, it's simply a 1 minute halftime for switching side, having a quick word, and then we play again. So look for the disc to be pulled rather soon.
Yeah, so Force Electro on offense coming out of halftime. Chance to extend their lead. Downwind as well.
That's some nice synchronization. Hope they can extend that into their game as well. Pool goes up. It's a really nice one actually.
Yeah. Good upwind pull. Good upwind pull for sure.
Almost as good as mine.
Questionable.
Questionable. It's not on video though, so. Ooh, interception by number 17. Who's again going for that around swings? Are they gonna get it? He does. And that's an easy find. That's a good find. DTU up 1. That's a close game.
Yeah, that's a break from DTU. Very well played there.
So
Very important one too.
we have been informed by TQ again that was in fact a break. Huge point for DTU. That brings it to 5-4. But you know, this game could go any way. Now they've got downward defense. Huge opportunity to pile on the pressure and use the momentum in their favor.
Yeah, big point this next one. See if Force can hold that offense upwind.
Their patience and their exactness, as you could call it, will really get tested this game, or this point even. Trying to get those swings into open space.
Yeah, DTU's been coming down with a zone defense this entire game, and that last point was the first time that it worked. Force tried to force it down the middle, and they got the block there. See if they can do it again. This is up 1 point.
Joji with the amazing pull.
Absolute bomb.
So DTU coming out in this zone again, and you can see that they're dropping back a little bit. They're not really contesting the swings, so they're just trying to contain the disc from going too far up the middle of the field. Trying to get Force Electro to throw a lot of passes. Hopefully, by causing a lot of passes, statistically they'll increase the chance of or a missed throw or something like that. So some would say a pretty smart move. Oh, and a big layout by Big Dave there. Wouldn't expect anything less.
Takes a lot of energy to get that Massel on the floor, but he does it.
No small layouts from Big Dave, only big layouts.
When that man hits the floor, earth rumbles.
He also has a nice tendency to do a scorpion when he lays out.
Yeah, we saw it. We saw it today multiple times. And we have a sticker of it. Great stuff. But we do see Force Electro coming up 3/4 of the way. They're past the brick mark of DTU. So they did remain composed in that offense against the upwind. So close now to the end zone line. Is that a score? And it gets with some toe drag swag. It's a score for Force Electro open 1.
Yeah. A little tight on the far sideline for what we could see, but it scores a score. And an important point, as Nick said, the upwind offensive hold. So they can be proud of that one.
Yeah, once again, the DTU zone not putting too much pressure on the Force Electro handlers and forcing a lot of passes, as Patrick said, but Force Electro happy to swing it back and forth, make all those passes and keep the disc.
As we see some people from DTU strolling back to their end zone line. Bit of tiredness setting in. Their legs kind of heavy right now. They will have to pick up the pace to get back those 2 points they're missing.
So we see Marcus winding up for the pull here. He should do pretty good on it. He is actually doing a PhD in control for wind farms, so he should be able to model the wind pretty well here in his head. You know.
It looks like he did his homework, because that looks amazing.
You know, I call it as I see it.
Too much oomph though. Too much oomph. He wants it too back.
His modeling's too precise, got too much power behind it. That actually was.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know this. You're a commentator.
And as we've determined, the commentators do in fact know everything.
Exactly. Otherwise, we wouldn't be called up.
Yeah.
Looks like Force Lecture is setting up a zone here.
Trying to trap them on that sideline, on the downwind sideline again, as we see with the other teams. It has been a pretty common tactic, as we see it work. Rolling up to that disc, nice and easy. We're not gonna get too tired. Gotta use those legs for those ink cuts. And a big spike from Martin. Wide arms, white boy.
I got to make the note. You can feel and hear the energy from Force Lecturer here. You know, score, the whole sideline erupts. The energy is in there. They look like they're having a good time. And to be honest, they look pretty fit as well. They've been training hard. They've been in their conditioning. And it's great to see. Even on the last day after a fun night. Good props.
Yeah, that's just a part of that. It just occurred to me that DTU also said to me that they would party the hardest, and maybe that has come to bite them in the butt a bit, as we knew that Gustav had ambitions to sleep at home. As one of the commentators, Jack here, was supposed to get him home safely, but he
Disappeared.
he wound up sleeping in a tent. So that might have been impactful on his gameplay today. But let's see some more points. As the pull goes up, it's a roller, and it rolls out right around the brick mark.
Okay, let's see what DTU can do here. They're setting up kind of a zone offense here. They've noticed that they're coming out of zone. Nice little pop up the sideline, and the disc goes up. It's floating, curves away, but he should have caught that D.
Oh, Jaden really close to the rebound score actually. Marcus with his windmill PhD still getting it though.
It was all calculated. He knew. He knew the way.
As they get massive breaks, massive momentum forward. Red has that disc, still upline, but are trapped on the bad sideline of this game. Oof, and perhaps a lapse of focus on Betch's part as he drops that what seemed to be easily catchable disc. DTU setting up, looking for those downfield options, and it does go off. And this one seems catchable. Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna go? And what a layout! But is it in? And they do call it in. Amazing play by DTU. 7-5 on the board.
That's a catch.
Yeah. Great grab there on the hook.
Putting in the effort. Great stuff.
I did not think that was coming down. When it went up and the wind grabbed it, so... these people have more legs than I do, that's for sure.
Maybe we could incorporate some more conditioning into our trainings. I'm sure the boys would
Are
love
you
that.
asking for that?
No, I don't know. Might leave early.
That's huge for DTU. That'll be a big boost for their energy. That brings the score to 7-5. They're still in this. You know, any time the momentum can switch, so it's really important for them to keep pushing because there's still hope in this game, and also for the lecturers to know that they haven't quite got there yet. Because DTU, they do look like a fit team. You know, they're renowned for being very similar to us in how they are. They've played well at some international competitions in the past, so definitely good not to write them off it.
This gets taken on the sideline, it seems. which is an interesting choice as it is trapped on the bad sideline, as I said earlier. But Leonard happy to just swing it to Farkash for a middle reset. Ruben now gets the disc, sees those upline cutters, but is it open? Yes, it is.
I just want the hook to go up, just like the DTU point. Respond, like for like, you know? But doesn't seem they're in range or it's not an option yet.
You were really.
Oh, and a huge block.
That's big. The zone paying off there. Can they get a break here to 7-6? Doji on the disc now.
A player well known in the Netherlands, actually. Plays with a lot of teams. Trains at UFO and Utka. We've seen it a couple of times. And a huge block by Farkash.
That's also big.
Big boys, big plays.
Back-to-back big blocks.
That's unfortunate. That was a really important point for DTU there. They really want to stay in the game. They really got to get some breaks in. Let's see if that zone can force another turn.
There's little deep defenders though, so if they do get a lucky, a bit of luck on their siding. Oh, as I say that, the disc gets knocked out of the hands of Ruben.
Yeah, that was a huge gust of wind there. Really picked that up.
DTU really have to be disciplined here. This is this will show whether they have the experience to play these tense moments. You know, what's important here is they take a with the hammer up to the end zone. Low talents, no. That was a high stall situation.
That may or may not be an answer to your question. We'll find out, but it seemed a bit ambitious. Is that the word?
Yeah, absolutely. In this wind, a hammer at this point of the game, I don't know. I don't know if I would have thrown that.
I can tell you I wouldn't, but that's because I can't do that.
Let's see if First Electric can be disciplined though on that zone. Really tight spaces, but they do seem to be finding that open gaps. A huge break to the inside. There goes Leonard, goes running off with it. Frizo gets it. Is he going to continue that play with the forward momentum? They do, and they get to that on the sideline. Reset to Ruben, get a bit of organization into that play. Job gets that disc, oh, what a beautiful in cut. Would have been amazing. Again, swung to that sideline, that far sideline.
They're smart. They don't want to force themselves to be trapped on this downwind sideline. They'd rather fight them.
A huge bit, a huge layout. Unfortunate from Ruben.
Yeah, this zone really paying off now against Force Electro.
And a foot block. Let's go, Big Dave. He gets it.
Big Dave, big feet, big blocks.
That's his bread and butter. He knows nothing else.
Force Electro get another chance at the hold. See if they can make better use of it this time.
Ballsy plays over the top. Oh, and it's a fumble, but recovered, and that's a score. Frizo getting it up, 2 hours of sleep, just right, just the right amount.
Yeah, that was a close one. I mean, he fumbled that 2-3 times, managed to get it in the end. Yeah, Force Electro struggling a bit more on the offense compared to the beginning of the game. That DTU zone causing them some trouble.
And would you say that is like a... Is that a result of them playing less well in the first half, or DTU stepping it up a bit?
I'm not sure. I think the handlers have maybe been less confident taking those swings, and maybe it's fatigue building up and just throwing passes a little bit more loose. It's strange that they, especially going down when they were struggling, because usually you'd think that'd be the easier way to go. But yeah. Credit to DTU. That was their zone really forcing them to put it in the middle and getting those blocks. Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting up a big fight. Let's see what they can do on the downwind offense as Martin rips one, lands halfway on the field and rolls out immediately, taking out some of the crowd over there. And as it get taken, we're setting up. Oh, it went out even farther than I thought.
I think it landed within the 3-meter line, but not within the field.
That's rough for them. Let's see if DTU can converge. And a nice claw. That's clean.
Yeah, nice clean hole by DTU.
Yeah, an unfortunate position with the pole, landing just out of bounds. But good of them to punch it in a clean and efficient manner.
Yeah, forcing them to the short pull, forcing them to go straight into match-up defense there. Opting not to set up the zone there. And, yeah, DTU capitalize, put a quick point in. Yeah, they really need a break here. 8-6. Yeah, this would be huge if they get a break here.
Yeah, with only 14 minutes left on the clock, now it's the time to do so, as time is closing in. And we still got a couple of more points left in this game. I definitely believe in that. But it's just a question of who these points are going to go to. Right now, it seems more even than in the beginning of the game.
The ultimate question of any sports game: who are the points going to go to?
I was playing words there. Okay, so we've got a nice upwind pull coming in here. 8-6, so that's a pretty good pull into this wind. You see full selection jog up. Looks like they're setting up in a vertical stack. Strike that, they see the zone coming, so they adjust. Disc sends it into the middle to Barrett, back to Ruben on the downwind sideline. Let's see, so we see this containing zone again from DTU. They're a bit saggy, they're taking off a few meters from thrower, but they're really stopping anything going through the middle, but they're leaving these swings quite open. So you see that they managed to pass the disc very easily, but they're not gaining many meters doing so.
Yeah, DTU very happy to sit on that 3-meter line and just let them swing back and forth, waiting for mistakes to happen while shutting down those in-cuts.
And, you know, I can imagine that Force Electro have had a pretty good game so far. They're in the lead. And then you come into the last 10-15 minutes and you realize there's only 2 points difference, and then you're like, I've got to really make sure I don't mess up. But that's sometimes when you start thinking about not messing up, that's when you start making mistakes. So let's see if Force Electro can just settle into their rhythm, keep it going, and find their flow, and just play for fun out there. That's what they've been doing. The hype has been there, the energy has been there. Looks like they're having a great time. So let's see if they can keep that going.
Yeah, at this point, I'd really like to see the Force Electro players try and play more deeps, especially going downwind. In general, they've been having 2 or 3 people open deep.
But here the plays come. Camilo just does not manage to get it inside the line, but there's good enough options. Oh, that would have been ballsy.
Is that like a chicken wing type throw?
Takes a push pass.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's a real veteran move from Camilo. You'd see maybe some people who are experienced, who really just want to push the limits, they would try and jump that in. But he's got that next little level of experience, and also just make sure you catch it before we try getting it into that end zone. That could have cost them a turnover there.
That's a goal right there. I think it's a foul call, uncontested.
Yeah.
Seems like
Looks
it.
like an uncontested strip. They're just discussing whether he was in the end zone or not. Looks like he might have a foot planted on the line.
Seems like the call is that it was not in and they're taking it on the sideline. Yeah, he's about to tap that disc in.
Uncontested strip on the end zone line.
Another chance for Force Electro to extend their lead. Bit chaotic, but Job still manages to find a gap. And that's 9 on
Big
the board.
point for Force. We've said big point more than once in this game, but it does feel like a lot of that's true. A lot of them can be momentum turning.
Yeah, this offense was a lot cleaner than the previous one. They kept it really patient. They weren't tempted by the deep shots, and they managed to work it around and through the middle of the zone. Paid off in the end.
We see a bit of limping on the field from DTU. Let's hope it wasn't anything too bad. As we get ready for another pull.
Yeah, the shoe is off that player. I think he might be.
That's a player down.
So I have maybe the most important question of this whole commentary is who actually won the Flip Cup tournament last night?
That would be Hardfish.
Hardfish. Oh, I'm not surprised to hear
No,
that. I
not
think they're
surprised.
multiple-year reigning champions.
Our Bavarian brothers coming back at it again. I was surprised to not see them in this final actually, as they were the last year's winners.
Yeah, maybe they went a bit too hard in the Flip Cup this year. Couldn't balance that out on the field.
Allegedly, there was also some kind of land shark action happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was them. The rebound catch is not on. A bit too much pressure.
You know, I reckon if Force Electric can punch this break-in upwind, that's pretty much putting the nail in the coffin in this game. 10-6 is pretty difficult to come back from, especially when you have to put an 0-point upwind. 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, I would wager that's a fair assessment. Running low on time, energy, everything, but we'll see.
These are their last legs, at least for most of the players playing here. Because not for Marcus, who just only showed up today.
Force Electro keeping the pace high here, making the DTU defenders work. That's
But it is a drop.
He may have fresh legs, but something wrong with the hands right there.
Should have worn gloves. Should have worn gloves.
Exactly. This post was sponsored by Friction Glove.
Check them out via our affiliate link. And that's a big pull. That's a big pull. And it's a grab. What a steal! And Camilo is frustrated with that one, but he still gives up that high five.
I imagine he's frustrated with perhaps him and his teammate running into each other. There was two defenders there, and they both, I don't know, couldn't really get to it.
Yeah, it was a great put there. Deep shot.
Yeah, beautiful throw.
And as we were just now theorizing on the 4-0 lead, 4-0 lead, now it becomes only a 2-point lead, and with that much time on the clock, it's still doable for DTU. We hope to see a tight game.
That's a shit I can get behind.
Universal language, right?
Yes.
DTU getting ready. Some more tactics being discussed before they pull.
Yeah, 7 minutes on the clock. I think a break now or never. Yeah, they got to put this one. Got to really put the pressure on this point. Try and force a turn. Get another point in, and then they're got themselves more of a game.
Pole rolls back a bit. Pretty decent field position, except for being on the trap sideline. We'll see what Barrett does with it.
And that lefty flick, just going back to that, the other break side.
Definitely a good throw considering the gusty wind, which we even felt over here on the commentators area.
Some nice pace, little pop through the zone.
Not enough downfield cutters though to capitalize on that momentum. As we see it now get swung to Ruben. Trying to look for those in cuts. Job gets it. Does he have a follow-up? No, he doesn't.
Oh, Dave smokes the open sides of the corner.
Big Dave! Does it again.
Big Dave.
Oh, and a gentle
spike.
spike. We gotta take care of our discs, man.
You know, you could see from the moment he started that cut that he was going to be free. You know, that explosive nature. And, you know, a little secret between us and you is due to some injuries, he hasn't even been in the gym that much recently, but he's there looking buff as anything on the field and smoking his defenders left, right, and center. So, good on him. Been contributing to this team a lot. And actually, what's quite interesting to know is last year was his first outdoor ultimate season ever. He started playing during the Corona year, so his first real game experience outdoor was pretty much last year. So that's incredible to see. It's great to see how much he's grown.
As we now get the the 5-minute jingle, we only have 5 more minutes on the clock. And with the 3-point deficit, it seems the chances of DTU coming back into this game are slimmer and slimmer. But again, they have this downfield offense now. As Force Electro is pulling.
Yeah, they really need to put this point quick. Get a quick point in, and then get back on defense, get a break in if they want a chance of winning this game.
Yeah. The odds slim down with every passing minute, but we've seen much stranger things in our own experience and on this field. So,
And a huge block by Martin. And it seems like they won't capitalize on the hold.
yeah.
That was
I
kind
think
of
it is
risky.
way too early to say anything at this moment.
The nerves in the commentator booth.
I mean, you can see it in the throws a bit too. Like they just end up low near the ankles and pins. Like,
You know, these are the moments that you really enjoy as a player. You know,
And it goes up against the wind. Is the read good? Is the read good? Is the read good? And Oni gets it.
wow.
big man Oni. Honestly,
Is there any small men on this?
it doesn't seem
I mean,
so.
no. Maybe Ruben.
All of the small ones have been in the gym. But honestly, shout out to Oni. Oni, look, he's not the most flashy player on the team. He won't have the quickest releases or the longest hugs, but he is, I believe to say, one of the hardest workers on this team. We a few years ago we played with the idea of having 7 a.m. trainings on Wednesday mornings, and so the 2 trainers were there and only Oni. So it was a 3-person training, but he was the one that showed up every single week, putting in the work. So if anything's sure with Oni is he's going to give you 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. All that hard work has paid off. He's become a really solid player and big part of the Force Lecture team. And, yeah, showed there when he got the point there.
How many 7 a.m. trainings did it take until that was stopped?
Actually, we kept going until.
Until Oni stopped showing up.
No, I think it was probably.
Oh, and it's a dropped ball. We only see Andrew do those.
7 a.m.
That is crazy.
Ooh, that's not what you want.
That's a big nerves moment right there.
We talked about that lead, and this is a moment for Selector to convert on that mistake, and they do so with Martin catching the disc, parading around with it as his trophy.
Oof, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah. If there was any momentum left, I think that's that.
And they extend with only 2 minutes, or a minute left on the clock actually.
Yeah, a minute and a half.
This will probably be the last ball.
That's a tough one. Even as a very biased commentatorship booth, you don't really want to see that sort of point.
And now the trick is for him to put it out of his head and try and get on with the next point.
Yeah.
But I think every single one of us here has dropped a pull before in our lives, and in a decently big moment, and it's not the easiest thing to get over.
One of the 4 in this booth denies it. We don't believe it.
You're holier than us?
Yeah. He's also the only one that didn't get pooped on by the bird, so.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Maybe that's a sign. DTU going with the... Oh, and nobody touches at this but the ground. Force Electro again, going to convert. There gets that. Still zone.
You know, Force Electro scoring here would pretty much just be a safety factor on the win, in my opinion.
That's a bit ambitious even for one. And it's a block, man.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you
Conservation of
get.
greatness for Oni today. What a phenomenal last point. Wow.
And that seems to be the time jingle. So this will indeed be the last point. Let's see if there's a Callahan in the books now. A Callahan. Oh, just not yet.
There's a collective gasp from the people behind us.
Oh. Right at the end. That is rough. Would have loved to see him play out this last point. But it's not meant to be. He gets a big round of applause from the crowd. Big outs for our DTU player. As we know here, we're indeed going to finish this point and then time is up. So there won't be a way for DTU back into this game, but it would be very nice to see another great deep huck or so to get that final score on the board. And a block by Martin.
Yeah, hotly contested disc there on the near sideline. As the Avengers music plays, maybe something heroic will happen.
Yeah, last point, but Force Selector still putting on that pressure on defense.
They won it. And Oni again, like, flawless, and that's the final score. And they won the game. Big congrats to Force Selector Open 1. Thanks DTU for playing, and thank you all for watching and listening, and hopefully enjoying our commentary. It was top notch, I have to say. My first stroll into the realm of commentating, and I hope to get an email from LTTV soon.
Yeah.
Thanks to my co-commentators Jack, Nick, and of course our big man Patrick showing up for the last game. I want to thank everyone that was at Rising Eye and everyone watching at home, and I'll see you guys next year.
Peace.
Bye.
Stay humble.
Bye.